No, you're good.
Welcome back to episode 2 of the AFC Eastie Cap.
Welcome in. Cat in a Hat here.
And Charlie Waffles. We're going to be breaking down last week's games, our predictions, and a little bit of next week, and kind of running through a lot of stuff, actually. Some big things went down this last week of football. The Dolphins getting hit pretty hard with the whole Tua getting another concussion thing. Another fight breaking out in one of the other games. It's been quite the evening.
Quite the weekend. A lot of upsets. Definitely one of the biggest upsets of the weekend for a Dolphin fan, for any Dolphin fan, was that not only the loss, like the beatdown that we got from the Buffalo Bills, but the fact that, yes, Tua went down, suffered another concussion. My personal opinion, I feel like if he's not going to put on weight to protect himself, he needs to retire. He's already announced that he's not going to retire, so the Dolphins have went and picked up Tyler Huntley. My personal opinion on the game from Thursday, I'm really pissed off at Mike McDaniel, and if anybody needs to take the blame for this game on Thursday, it needs to be Mike McDaniel for the position that he put the team in. For the position that he put the team in, it was bad. So, look at it. You have the Miami Dolphins were giving the Buffalo Bills field position all night long. The Buffalo Bills started in the Miami Dolphins side of the field so much because Mike McDaniel just wanted to go for it on fourth down, go for it every time. So you were giving the Buffalo Bills just literally like the shortest field position they can ask for, and they were running the ball down our throat. We literally didn't give them much to work with. Like, Mike McDaniel should have punted some of those fourth downs to where he let our defense do its job, pin them inside the 10-yard line, let our defense, make Josh Allen run around in his end zone instead of making him run around midfield where he's got all that space to work. The fact that Mike McDaniel just kept going for it on fourth down is the reason that we were in that position, and Tua felt like he needed to make the move that he made.
But did he start doing that in the second half?
That started from the beginning of the game, bro. The beginning of the game, bro. There was a 4th and 8 in the beginning. In the first quarter, he went for a 4th and 8 in the first quarter. He went for it. We got a false start on it. 4th and 13, still went for it. The first interception,
smart move.
The first interception that happened, I can't put that on Tua. That was definitely not Tua. That was on the receiver, Dubois. I don't know how to pronounce the dude's name. He's a guy off the practice squad. Literally bounced right off the dude's chest and then into a Buffalo Bills hands. So that one, I'm not putting that one on Tua. But yes, the other 2 interceptions were definitely on Tua. They were bad anticipated throws. Tua has not been looking good this season, and a lot of that is because he lost that weight. This is my thinking on it. He lost that weight and he's trying to become mobile. He's not a mobile quarterback. Don't be a mobile quarterback. Become a good pocket passer. Stay in the pocket so you can plant your feet, you can throw the ball, because the first 2 games he was not looking pretty throwing those balls on the run. He was overthrowing guys, he was missing targets he never missed before. Dude, stay in the pocket, put some weight on. If you're not going to retire to do me a favor, do yourself a favor, do your kids a favor, your family, your loved ones, do them all a favor. Put that weight back on. Become a pocket passer so that you can go back to where you were last year. And that's my take on the Thursday night game.
And speaking of that interception, I literally just watched it right here in front of my face. You're right, that was not on Tua. It literally bounced right off the numbers of that dude, and then it just right into the hands of the Bills. They definitely could have played a little better. Being down, 14 or something at the half, that definitely led to a gotta throw it kind of vibe to the Dolphins. They weren't comfortable just running the ball, even though Devon Achane had a fantastic day. Tua he wanted to run one himself, and in that moment, he definitely should have slid early on and take the first down and then go for chunk yardage in the next play. But I don't understand why he didn't do that, instead trying to push for that extra yardage that he didn't need.
He didn't need it. It was a bad decision on his part for sure. For sure.
But the team all like from the beginning, the first quarter looked all right. They did a couple of little trick plays to Tyreek to out of the backfield. A couple of tosses going the other way with what's that? A-Chain and Mostert. No, Mostert didn't play, did he?
He played. No, he was out.
He was out.
Yeah. Jalen Wright got a little bit of action during the game. He looked pretty good. Of course, he didn't get too much action. He was in and out. Devon A-Chain obviously got most of the bulk of everything. But other than that, I mean, our defense still, for 2 games in a row, has not allowed a single score in the second half. So if our defense can keep doing their jobs and holding teams to 17 under 20 points, around that 20-point range, it doesn't matter who they put in there at quarterback. Skylar Thompson did almost win us a playoff game against Buffalo 2 years ago. If you guys don't remember or not, they only won by 3 points over there in Buffalo. They were sweating hard. Skylar Thompson almost handed it to them. So Tyler Huntley, Skylar Thompson, either one of them. Honestly, Skylar Thompson probably be the better option right now because he's been running in this offense a lot longer, so he's going to be more efficient. But we'll see how it goes.
I agree.
We got enough pieces to win enough games if Tua comes back, and maybe like after week 10, we rest up for a while, bro.
If you were Mike McDaniels, which quarterback that's still out there would you have tried to go and grab?
Bro, I don't know why. Like Jimmy Garoppolo would have been the first option.
Really, Garoppolo?
For me. Well, he's already worked with Mike Daniel. And he's worked with Mike Daniel in a Super Bowl. So he's taken the 49ers to the Super Bowl in that same scheme. So, like, that would be my first no-brainer option. Like, he's already been there. He's done it with Mike McDaniel and with this same scheme. My second option would have been Tannehill. 1, because he's already been on the team. And 2, because he's an efficient enough quarterback to, with the playmakers we have,
get it to Tyreek,
get it to somebody,
Chain,
or make a smart decision to throw it away, or he can take the hit if he gets sacked. You know what I mean? Things like that.
Yeah, I personally, I would have also went for Tannehill just for sense of he already knows the organization. You know what I mean? He would probably be able to easily pick up the playbook and know pretty much what he's got to do. Speaking
of quarterbacks, there was a lot of course, Friday morning. Actually, it didn't even take that long. Thursday night at like 11:58 p.m. Of course, the internet already went and got flooded with, Brady to the Dolphins. Of course, the internet got flooded with that. But guess what, guys? If you're a true Dolphin, you really don't want that. Do you really want that? Think about it.
You would never want that.
This man put sand in your diapers on the playground. He took your lunch money in elementary school. He beat you up for your homework in middle school, and he took your girlfriend both in high school and in college. And then when you got your job, he just swooped right in there and he took your promotion. And now he wants to come back and be like, hey man, hey, let's be friends, bro. I'm sorry. It's all cool. No, bro. Tom Brady, get out of here.
To be fair, I don't think Brady called the Dolphins organization up thinking, hey, you want me to come out of retirement? I think if the rumor, it would have been the other way around.
No, honestly, like, all bullshit aside, like, that was just fake news. That was just clickbait. I never would have believed any of it. He's working on becoming an owner for the Las Vegas Raiders. So with that happening, and with him being on Fox, like, in the newsstand, like, the owners would have to
$40 million for just saying like 7 words.
Right. The owners technically would have to vote on letting him come back and play, and I guarantee you, because honestly, if he goes to the Dolphins, that puts them immediately in Super Bowl, like #1 Super Bowl contention. Like everybody's gonna put them at the top, at the favorite for the Super Bowl. We can't deny that, but. So none of the other owners are going to let that happen. So it wouldn't happen no matter what.
I don't see that going
don't clickbait that. Clickbait us.
Like and subscribe.
Yes, sir. All right. So moving on to some games around the league.
From last week. Oh man.
From yesterday. A lot of upsets. A lot of upsets. This past Sunday, a lot of survivor pools were taken out. Yeah. So we'll start with one of the upsets, the Vikings at the 49ers.
Yeah, didn't see that coming.
23-16. We definitely got that one wrong in our predictions.
Both of us did.
Yeah.
I know I was expecting I did give props to the Minnesota defense last week.
Andrew Van Ginkel with another big play, my boy.
And then I still turned around and picked against them, and they proved me wrong. But that's okay, because that's how it goes in the NFL. Any given Sunday, as they say.
Any given Sunday. Yeah, so the Vikings, Sam Darnold looked efficient enough with that offense. Like, you have Justin Jefferson to throw the ball to. They got Aaron Jones in the backfield, right? That's where Aaron Jones went. He went to the Vikings. So, like, he's efficient enough in the backfield. TJ Hawkinson's going to be coming back in a couple weeks, too. So, it's only going to get better. Their defense, they got Andrew Van Ginkel over there looking like Zach Thomas, just intercepting balls for touchdowns and sacking quarterbacks and just wreaking havoc on offenses, and a lot of other good guys over there. I can't name some names, but they're obviously doing well. So good win, good upset for the Vikings. The next game we had was a nice fought, tough game. Seahawks at Patriots.
That was a close one.
That was a close one. Seahawks won it in overtime, 23-20. But I'm still sure I broke some people because they probably had Seahawks by 3.5 or something. There's probably some stupid half a point that broke a lot of people.
I want to say the line on that was 4 points or something.
So what's that make you think about the Patriots? Like, they're in the AFC East with us. So let's
they're fighting hard.
They beat the Bengals in Week 1,
but they still lost.
Right, they still lost.
I know, I just want to say that.
They still lost.
Patriots lost.
They lost.
They lost.
They lost.
Okay.
I can't talk too much because now we're 1-1.
Yeah.
At the bottom.
Because we all lost.
Lost.
One game.
And Buffalo.
Didn't lose.
Well,
it hurts to stare at the camera like that and say that Buffalo didn't lose. Ugh.
All right, well, we're going to have another divisional. You're going to be able to either get on top or get on bottom. So, anyways, this week, they played the Seahawks. Obviously, their defense did a good enough job. It was basically a field goal game all the way through. Ended with a field goal and overtime. So, it looks like the Patriots' defense is pretty tough, especially with that Matthew Judon addition. He's definitely making his contract and his signing worth it for them. Their offense is what is hurting them. Obviously, they can't get it together. Jacoby Brissett started the game. I think Drake May ended the game. I didn't really watch it.
I don't recall. I know Brissett was on there most of the time.
Yeah. So it's up and down. We'll see. We need a couple more games from the Patriots before we can think if they're still a dumpster fire looking towards next season or not. Because now they're 1-1 and they had a pretty impressive almost victory there. So, but moving on from the Patriots because they suck.
The game that surprised me the most was the Saints and the Cowboys.
Oh boy!
I was not expecting the Cowboys defense to not only not hold the Saints, but let them just literally destroy them. I believe the ending score was somewhere around
44-19.
40 points, 20-point difference.
Yeah, 25-point difference. 44-19 was the score, yes. Goel scored. Goel. He runs like Goel in his Tiger form. Alvin Kamara, he scored 4 total touchdowns in that game.
4 total touchdowns. So I see CeeDee Lamb got one here.
Yeah.
I'm watching some of the highlights of it still right now. 21-13. And what was it? They're going to call that down at the 1. So he's like going into halftime with another touchdown. Putting it, 30 35-13 going in a half. Derek Carr putting up a hell of a season so far, surprising some people.
Yeah, and like, all right, so like I was talking about this earlier. The Saints did the same thing in Week 1. They put up 48 points in Week 1. It's like, but you're playing the Panthers. Play somebody good again and do that again. What really like throws me off in this game is like, I'm not really like thrown off by the 44 points from the Saints. I mean, like, yes, it's surprising against Dallas defense. What I'm more shocked about is like the 19 points from Dallas. Like, it was so one-sided in that game, almost as if like the offense just didn't come to play. Or
as far as Dallas, they were getting their offensive line handed to them.
Let me look at like the time of possession difference. That'll tell me a lot right there. Do you have it?
I see Dak right now. Well, at the beginning of the third quarter with 19 for 25, 200 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception, and then he runs for 14 yards and slides. But they were already down 17 points at this point. Even with a big throw to who's this? CeeDee Lamb? No. Who's number 1? Took a heck of a fall. I see the name on the back of his jersey, though. Come on, guys. Tolbert.
Alright, so let's open up one here. Let's go to ESPN again. Let's look up some.
And then Dak dropping the ball. That was a big mess up. Even though Cowboys did get it back, they recovered, but still, they recovered 15 yards back, had to kick a field goal to make the 19 points. And then they never scored again at 8 minutes into the third quarter. They did not score again for the rest of the game.
That's kind of how it was. That was another disappointing game. Cardinals-Rams upset, I would say, but also like.
Wasn't an upset for me.
No, you did pick the Cardinals. I remember that you did pick the Cardinals to win. But I think a lot of other people were picking Rams.
Oh, I'm sure. They were going into that thinking Matt Stafford's got this.
Yeah,
Clap hands. Let's call it a day. Cooper Kupp. Let's go. And they forgot about Kyler Murray and his legs on him.
Well, he started the game two straight shots to fucking Marvin Harrison Jr.
Big deep shots for a
big
touchdown.
Deep shot for the first drive was like they put a drive together, and then ended with Marvin Harrison touchdown, and then the second one was just one big deep shot to Harrison for a touchdown. That was like in the first 4 minutes of the game. Like,
yeah, they were up 14.
I literally turned the game on and was watching the Kansas City game.
I was like, what is going on in Arizona?
I turned around, and it was like 14 points. I'm like, holy shit. And I'm like, oh, well, that's going to be good for the Rams. I got Cooper Kupp in a fantasy league right now. That's going to be good for me. Wrong was I. They could never get it back together after that. They mustered up one touchdown drive and a field goal, and Rams just sputtered.
Sputtered and stopped.
I don't know what's going on with them with the offense that they have. They should be able to do better than that.
I also got wrong the Browns and the Jags. I know you got that one right, so that's a little bit of a brag on you. I thought Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars were going to do a little bit better against the Browns defense, but in all reality, it did not plan out that way.
Yeah, no. In fact, it was exactly how I said it was going to plan out. Like, they were going to be able to hold them under 17. Actually, I said they were going to hold them under 13. They held them to 13. And I said that Deshaun Watson was just going to be able to score just enough to win the game. And with his rushing touchdown, he did. Go well.
Got me.
But, I mean, the game was still pathetic and kind of boring to watch. In general, it wasn't exciting. Not a lot of big plays. Of course, Deshaun Watson playing like garbage. Their run game really isn't going to get going until Nick Chubb comes back. I mean, Jerome Ford is okay in that scheme, but he's just no Nick Chubb.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a couple more weeks before the Rams can actually get rolling. Of course, they're going to have a good enough defense to be able to keep them in games Like, it's just some of the bigger teams are not going to be able to beat. The Jacksonville Jaguars, well, that's just them.
Jaguars being Jaguars. They are lazy cats after all.
That's just them. What game you want to talk about next? We have Giants Commanders, we have Colts Packers, we got Jets Titans, we got Buccaneers Lions, Raiders and Ravens, Chiefs Bengals, Steelers Broncos, and then the game from last night.
I didn't watch much of the Steelers Broncos game, even though I did know that Steelers were going to win that one going into it.
Yes, we did.
Najee Harris didn't do nearly as well as he probably should have, considering.
Right.
But I definitely feel like he was sharing more of the volume of the workload in the backfield this week than he had been in previous weeks.
Well,
even with what's his name getting hurt.
Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Justin Fields playing. Well, even with this game, like, both teams are basically like rebuilding. Neither one of them are any good. They're just both going to be boring to watch all season long. Sorry, Steelers and Broncos fans. It's going to be ugly play. The Steelers win in that type of situation, though. So not much there. We'll jump to the Raiders and the Ravens, which ended. It was the very last 1 o'clock game to end. It definitely eliminated a lot of survivor pools. A lot of people got eliminated in the survivor pools on this one. No one was expecting the Raiders to beat the Ravens.
Come over beat Baltimore? Yeah.
I know for sure. I was not. Goel was not.
Charlie Waffles was not as well.
Not. It was just an ugly game. I mean, the Raiders were winning it in the fourth quarter, and they just let the Raiders come back and just muster up some slow drives and some good defense. Again, Lamar Jackson's just not looking as good as he was last year. Definitely not anywhere in the MVP conversation, in my opinion, at the moment. At least after 2 weeks of play.
Yeah.
So they're 0-2, the Ravens are.
Yeah, talk about coming out of the gate weak.
Weak.
But speaking of leaving the Raiders, Josh Jacobs over in Green Bay. Can you believe that Green Bay beat the Colts?
They pulled it off with Malik Willis. That was pretty impressive.
Yeah. There was even one play I could have swore I was like, why didn't he throw the ball? I could have he was literally he had it up, he brought it down, and then he ended up running the play. Come to find out, the center threw up on the ball and hiked it, covered in vomit, to Lewis, and that's why he didn't end up throwing it. He ended up just running with it. I read it in one of the excerpts for after the game. The coach was pissed at him, why didn't you throw the ball, man? What's going on? And he was like, dude, it was covered in puke. No one's gonna catch it. And he was like, the coach is quoted as saying, I've never heard that before in my life.
That's some funny shit right there. I threw up on the ball.
Yeah. Malik was like, Josh threw up on the ball. It's like, what? The center, I guess his name's Josh. But yeah, sorry, buddy. Didn't mean to out you there.
That means they were pushing hard, man. That means he was pushing over his limit, but that's impressive. He's out there pushing over his limit, to get that win, because that was definitely a big win coming off of a devastating loss the week before, and the way that they lost the week before. So good job, Green Bay.
He puked, hiked the ball, and blocked his man for him to be able to run. To be fair, I wouldn't be trying to tackle him either if I just literally watched him throw up on the ball.
Hey, that might be why he actually blocked his man, because the guy saw him throw up on the ball. And
I don't want you to throw up on me, dude.
Whoa.
Amazing.
But Green Bay got the win with their backup quarterback. Good job. They figured it out. They ran the ball with Josh Jacobs. They put up a good defense and stopped Anthony Richardson and company, which I'm pretty upset about. I definitely had the Colts. I was hoping for a much better game. Because because my fantasy suffered. So, but good job, Green Bay. They take the win. It was what, 16-10, right? I'm looking for the score now. Yes, 16-10. Next game, Buccaneers Lions. I was watching that one, play by play. It was a little choppy at first, a little rough. First half didn't really nothing much too going on. Good defense. Offense is trying to figure out how they're going to beat the defenses. I think there was a couple field goals scored in the first half, but all the action came in the second half. Baker Mayfield looked good enough. You know, Chris Godwin, he's back. Mike Evans, he'll be Mike Evans. You know,
there was literally a mention from one of the announcers during the first half of that game that, oh, finally Baker threw it to somebody that's not Chris Godwin, because apparently the first 5 targets were all his direction.
Yeah.
Which, you know, hey, good for you. Anyone that's got Chris Godwin in fantasy, that's 5 targets, that's possibly 5 catches. You know, right at the beginning, you're feeling good. But then you got to spread the ball around a little bit. Yeah, Baker even running for his own touchdown at one point.
Yeah. Yeah, so like that game was pretty good to watch. Detroit, they did well. Not well enough to win. They kind of fumbled out in the last play of the drive. I think they ran out of time. They had to went for a field. Was it them that went for a field goal and missed at the end? I'm not sure, but no, because they were going for a touchdown at the end and they couldn't get it. They turned it over on downs and the game was over. Buccaneers ran the clock out. I think there was like 40 seconds left when they turned the ball over, and Buccaneers just ran the clock out. But they tried. But he didn't look good. He threw a couple of interceptions. Jared Goff did.
I saw that.
Raw got banged up a little bit, but I believe he came back in.
He did come back into the game.
It must not have been serious. I know that like when it happened, it took a while for the game to come back. So I thought that it was more serious than it was, but he came back, so apparently it wasn't that serious. But the Bucs come away with the win, and they beat the Lions 20-16, and that makes the Buccaneers 2-0, and the Lions 1-1 at the moment.
All right, so moving on to the Giants and the Commanders.
Field goal bowl.
Yeah, the loser bowl. We called that one at the beginning. Looks like Giants actually held a lead in this game.
No, the Giants got a touchdown or two. Yeah, they did hold a lead, and then the Washington Commanders had to come back with their field goals and make more field goals than that.
Tie it up 12-12, and then 12-15. And I think that was the finish. No, Giants scored again towards the end, made it 18-15. And then they finished out, tied it up again, 18-18. Lots of kicks, and then finally 18-21 for Washington to finish them off.
Such a shame. But
Giants could have had their first and probably only win of the season.
Win of the season, yeah, that was their chance.
But they threw it away.
That was their chance. Yeah, so not much to talk about there. Neither team really looked great. I mean, Malik Neighbors is probably the only thing to talk about that game. He had him a couple tutties, a couple grabs, did some fantasy leagues pretty well. If you played him, he put up 25 points, I believe, 25 and some change. So that's pretty good if you had him in a flex, you know, because you weren't so sure about him, but you were like willing to take the gamble. So at least that's some positive from that game. And then what we got left? We still got the Chiefs and the Bengals. We got the Jets and the Titans.
I was just looking into was the Chiefs and the Bengals.
That was a fun game to watch. Yes. When do you go on? We'll let you get on. Goel is like really pestering me right now to join you guys.
He's excited.
He's been sitting here patiently waiting quietly.
It's not normal for Goel.
No, but the Chiefs-Bengals game was really good. It was fun to watch. I personally think the Bengals definitely performed better than the Chiefs did. They didn't. It doesn't look like that, obviously, because they lost. But there were a couple.
But they lost by a very narrow margin of 1 point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The narrowest
of
margins.
Narrowest of margins. Yeah, there was a couple calls that like were questionable, but I think I can say that for both sides. So we'll just negate out that whole conversation. You know what I mean? So like if it happens on one side, then it's like, yeah, you can like question it and talk about it. But if it happens for both sides, from now on, as an NFL community, to keep a nice, clean community, can we just like negate each other out? Let's get that rule of thumb going on right now. You know what I mean? If it happens for both teams, just like don't even talk about the refs. Don't you see them putting out the commercials now to try and make themselves look all nice? Look, I got a dog and I love doggies and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Not seen any of those commercials.
They had them playing during the games yesterday. It was kind of funny. I was watching Pat McAfee today. Shout out to Pat McAfee, but he like replayed a clip of like a referee like keeping up with a play. I think it was like one of the Stephon Diggs, or it was like a big touchdown play, or it was Justin Jefferson. It was Minnesota Justin Jefferson.
Okay.
And he showed him basically like where he had to like run and like move around them and like run back and then turn around backwards and keep running like with same speed as them. You know what I mean? He was just giving him compliments.
Running in reverse.
Like, yeah, he was like keeping up with the guys. And
like, don't get me wrong, those refs, they
gotta be in shape.
They gotta be in shape too, because they're running down that field. They're watching every aspect that they can, and at the same time, throwing as many flags as possible.
Flags.
They love their penalties. Speaking of penalties, I guess we can move on to the Jets-Titans game. In the first quarter of that game, the Jets had already had 4 penalties for 20 yards compared to Titans' 1 penalty for 5. Had me literally screaming at the TV at work, so much to the point that when my first customer walked in, I had to turn around and say, apologize. But it was good in the end. One of my other Jets customers kind of came in and raised my spirits when I got busy. They were shooting out the scores and telling me what was happening during the plays. So I got to hear all of it pretty well as far as a play-by-play. I hear Katnier was also doing a play-by-play of that game.
Yeah, I was watching it very intently. Of course, it's an AFC game. It was honestly, I wanted to watch the Bucs-Detroit game, but since we're in the Florida market, that's what game was given to me. So I watched it, but it's an AFC game, so yeah, I don't mind watching it. I'm rooting for Aaron Rodgers to have a good season this year. You know,
yeah, at the very least, stay healthy.
I hope he can get a good season together, because he may not have another one behind this or behind that. You know what I mean? Maybe one more.
Could be the last.
Maybe one more, if anything, but who knows? So yeah, I'm kind of rooting for him. It was a good game. They did just enough. They did exactly what we said in the beginning of the season, bro. If you can just hold your opponents to under 20 points, Aaron Rodgers is going to be efficient enough with this offense to win games. Like, you don't have to score much, buddy, and he didn't. 24 points. They did hold him off, the defense. Like, the Titans were pushing down the field at the end. They did hold him off. Titans almost pounded it in to tie that game and take it to overtime. I know you were stressing that.
Yeah, I was getting a little nervous there towards the end of the game. But like I said, I didn't get to really physically watch it. I was hearing the play-by-play, and luckily for me, my play-by-play announcer was giving me only the good Jet stuff, not any of the bad Jet stuff. So when it came time to really be worried about whether we were going to close out the game or not, I had no knowledge of how desperate we were starting to become. So,
are you talking about me?
No, I'm talking about somebody else. Why? Unless you were too, in which case, then yeah, I'm talking about you. But no, I got to watch over some of the highlights when I got home from work that evening, and by the end of the game, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, it didn't look great, but it looked good, and we'll take good this far into the season.
No, they looked really good. Don't underplay it. They looked really good. The defense looked good. Tennessee is just better than people thought they were going to be. Like we said, Tony Pollard, if he can come in and he can run this offense like Derrick Henry did, or better, then they'll be perfectly fine. And Tony Pollard's fitting that bill perfectly fine.
Yes,
so
I 100%
Will Levis can definitely toss it off to him if he gets into trouble. He didn't look bad. He made a couple bad throws, but like he made a couple good throws too. So he's definitely 50-50. They're better than they thought. So the defense did its job. The offense looked great. The running game looked great. You double-headed it with Breece Hall and Braylon Allen.
Yes, we had to. Breece Hall was having trouble at the very beginning, starting off, getting some yardage and whatnot until they switched it out and started giving him a couple more passing throws to get him out in the field, in the open space. Exactly. Yeah. When then it's easier for him to make people miss in the open field than it is for 5 seconds and boom, you're right there.
Right, you can't be running him into a wall right up the center. It's not a good option. Anyways,
it's never been the best play option for running plays. I don't know why people always do it. Like, run it up the gut. Yeah,
well,
only if that's available.
It depends on your offensive line. Like the good teams with a good offensive line can do it because their offensive line can push rather than get pushed. Right. So it's like if you can push, then you can get 5 yards. But if you can't push, then it's usually like running into a wall and you might get a yard, if not, no gain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like if you looked at the Chiefs last night and the Bengals, like their offensive line, they were pushing. You know, their guys were running straight up the middle, straight into the middle, you know, and their guys are pushing. And Pacheco, he was getting 5 yards, 6 yards, going straight into the middle, you know.
Almost every run.
Unfortunate that he got injured at the end of the game. We have no idea what's going to go on with that.
Yeah, I didn't see that either.
Yeah.
I did notice that he left the game somewhere around the third quarter, I want to say.
Yes, it was pretty early still. It was like in the third quarter. And that finishes off. Oh, wait. We got one more. I got a clip to show you before we jump into the last game. Oh. Did you have anything else you wanted to say about the Jets?
No. Congratulations on the win. We're 1-1.
Good job.
Keeping it going forward. We got the Bills on Thursday.
All right, so last night, Houston Texans, Chicago Bears played their Sunday night football in Houston. And they didn't play very nicely with each other. In fact, they were pretty mean. Check this out. So they think that was a late hit or unnecessary hit on Caleb Williams as he was running out. So I'm guessing like some of the Bears players were saying something and just kept going further and further. We got to stop these scuffles, man.
There's no point to it. I understand you want to defend the pride of your quarterback for getting smacked around.
Look, that's not a late hit. Look, that was not a late hit. I mean, you could probably argue it was a late hit because you could say he gave himself up, like going out of bounds. He was going out of bounds, and like you didn't need to hit him like that. But like we didn't get to see the other film. You're gonna see right here is where it gets going. But yeah, we gotta stop these fights because it's just not good.
No, it's not good. It's not good for the morale of sports viewers or the humanity.
Yeah. The dude didn't get ejected. Nobody called it. So like he should have got ejected because he decks a dude right in his face with his helmet and stuff. Like he gets up. You'll see it here in a minute. He gets up and he just like punches the dude right in his helmet.
Pretty devastating hit.
There should be an immediate ejection. But no referee called it, so nothing could be done about it during the game. They'll probably end up doing something about it sometime this week. He'll probably get some fines. A couple of those players that are in there will probably get some fines. But yeah, man, it was kind of just dumb, man. Just dumb. Stop doing this to each other, guys. Like instead of y'all fighting after the game, why don't y'all go out to the bar and have some beers?
Easier said than done.
Or go to the strip club. I don't care. That'll ease. See, this is why you shouldn't be here. Goel over there, too young to hear things like that. With his immature mind. But anyways, the Houston Texans, they looked okay against the Chicago Bears defense. Chicago Bears looked pretty good. Caleb Williams looked better than he was the week before. He didn't throw the ball a lot. I think his passer rating was pretty high. He didn't have no turnovers. He had a touchdown. And I think he went like 14 for 16 on... Let me look at that. Let me fact check that. Oh yeah, that was way off. So that must have been at halftime. Because by the end of the game, he was 23 for 37 for 2 interceptions. Because I fell asleep at halftime. Basically, after that fight, I fell asleep. So I guess after I went to bed, he sucked it up.
Sucked it up and pulled through.
He was looking good when I was watching. He was like I said, it was like 14. He was like 14 for 16. And he didn't have a touchdown. Khalil Herbert got the touchdown. That's right. He handed it off to Khalil Herbert for the touchdown. Okay. But yeah, so I guess he sucked it up after halftime.
Well, good for him.
Let the Texans come and get a 2-0 start on the season.
Go Texans. CJ Stroud.
So what'd we go so I can fill out our... we still got one more game tonight. We have the Falcons and the Eagles. That's going to be a good game to watch tonight for those of you that can watch it on ESPN Deportes and ESPN Plus, regular ESPN.
Well, I know as of week 2, Goel was -6 and I was -7, so he picked up 1 on me on that. As far as...
So 6 losses?
Yeah, 6 losses to my 7 losses.
10-6. And you're 9-7.
With 1 game still pending, but we both took the Eagles, so...
Oh, so right now we're 9-6, and you're 6-6, 7-6, 8-6.
No, I've missed 7.
You missed 7. Oh, so you're...
It's like I'm not 6 anything.
8-7 right now.
8-7.
All right, so 9. Updating our sheet right now. Dang, 6 losses, man. That's all them upsets.
Yeah,
That's
all them unexpected
upsets.
Unexpected losses. The Ravens losing to the Raiders, the Packers beating the Colts, the Vikings beating the 49ers, the Saints beating the Cowboys. A couple of the other ones are just my bad choices: Browns and Jags, Bucks and Lions, and then that was it.
That was it.
Oh yeah, and of course, the Bills and Dolphins.
Yeah.
I even believe I said in my mind.
And you said your heart.
My heart, I wanted to take the Bills, but my mind said Dolphins. So next time, follow your heart.
Follow your heart. But I have Dolphins too, so that's not the game that put me up on him.
Yeah, but could have been the game that put me up on you, though.
Could have been. Oh,
better luck.
Go well.
Go well. Better luck next time.
All right, so
Brooding.
Let's go over a couple waiver wire picks. Let me switch over the screen here. Let's go over a couple waiver wire. Should be some good options to look at to pick up for your waiver wires this week. Coming up, let's go to players. So let's run through it. Position by position, if anybody's out there looking for a quarterback. Obviously some decent quarterbacks that are probably going to be out there available in most leagues would be guys like Sam Darnold. He's proven 2 weeks in a row, even against a tough San Francisco defense, that he can perform. If you had a Jordan Love and you hadn't already picked up Malik Willis, obviously you'll be good enough to cover until Jordan Love gets back. And there's definitely upside. The more that he keeps starting and the more that he keeps playing, he's just going to get a little bit better each game. Tyler Huntley. No, I'm just kidding. He's not going to be starting. That was a joke.
Derek Carr. And the Saints, if you haven't been paying attention, he's been scoring some points.
Yeah, but he might not be available in a lot of leagues.
It's true. There's a lot of Saints fans out there.
I'm trying to look at his availability right now, like across the leagues, and he's
rostered in 9.6.
So he should be available.
I'm just saying.
He's probably available in your league, right? Right. All right. So those are some of your quarterback options you can look to. I wouldn't pick up Will Levis. He didn't do good enough. Yeah, the game they won, but he didn't do good enough. Don't fall for it. Next, let's go to, what is it, running back.
Khalil Herbert.
In Chicago. I don't know how much to lean on this. I feel like he's just going to be a once in a while touchdown back.
Red zone back. But hey, red zone back is not bad because touchdowns are points.
Yeah, but it's just not consistent enough because he's not going to get touches anywhere else. So it's like if he doesn't get that touchdown, he just totally falls off for you. Like DeAndre Swift did plenty well enough for the Chicago Bears that Khalil Herbert literally is just going to be like a 4th and inches or goal line kind of guy. Not enough value. If you're really thin and like that's your best option, I mean, I guess, but
you'd have to be like itching for something.
Like you're like a crackhead, just like fiending, like
like I need something. Like if you had Isaiah Pacheco and he just got taken out. So he'll be out for the next 4 to 6 weeks. You got to make some roster moves.
I'm looking at our free agents in running back. I was looking at this earlier, and like it was the only area where it's like we don't have many good options in the waiver wire. Like, to be honest, you're probably better off trying to find somebody to trade for a running back that they have, because I may be in the same boat. I'm still waiting to see what happened with Joe Mixon yesterday.
Apparently, we don't make trades in our league.
No, we're
sit there waiting for people to vote on them instead of actually going through before Sundays.
We're gonna fix that.
Sorry about that, Martini.
I don't know what happened with that. We're definitely gonna.
We
fix
both
that.
kind of, I feel like, got screwed. Let me see. Who did you play this week? Did you win still? You did. So you're good for you. Good for you, Martini. You still won with both of the players that you were trying to trade. Makes me wonder if you backed out of the trade.
So we'll move on to wide receivers. There's probably going to be a lot of these available. Alec Pierce, one of the main ones that comes to mind. He's only rostered in 13% of rosters on ESPN. Definitely a good pickup. Seems like he's going to be a favorite target for Anthony Richardson going through the season. We have Romeo Doubs in our waiver wire, but he's rostered in 30% of the leagues. If he's available in yours, he is a decent option, but it's just there's so many mouths to feed as far as receivers go over there in Green Bay, and the fact that Jordan Love isn't slinging the ball around. I don't think that would be a good pickup right now, and I would probably wait a couple weeks and probably skip out on that one. But if you definitely need one, he might get you a touchdown and a couple receptions.
Keep an eye on Quentin Johnston.
Yes.
And the Chargers as well.
He's not available in our league, though. Oh, yes, he is.
He is. And he's only rostered in 6.9% of leagues. And he's done pretty good of what, he's been given. 3 of 5 targets for 38 yards in the season opener, but then his game 2 was where it brought him a little bit of fame.
Yeah.
5 of 6 for 51 yards with 2 touchdowns in the win over the Panthers. Again, they were playing the Panthers. But still, 22 points ain't nothing to gawk at. And no flags.
No flags. Oh, he almost got me.
Like I said, no flags.
No flags. I'm still looking down here, seeing what else we got. In our league, those are your best options.
You roll through tight ends.
Jalen Naylor. Jalen Naylor. He's only rostered in 0.5% of rosters on ESPN. He got a touchdown snag. He did pretty good last year too for a little bit before he got injured. So it could be a good sign that he could be an option, especially if Justin Jefferson misses any kind of extra time. So if you need a plug and play for a couple weeks, he might be a good pickup to look at. Because T.J. Hawkinson's still out, so you don't have him. If Justin Jefferson misses a week, Jordan Addison's already out, so it's like Jalen Naylor is 3-4 option. So
and there's a name that you've been missing on this tight end one that
we haven't got to the tight end yet.
You said Hawkinson, then we're talking tight ends, bro.
Okay. Yeah. No, we can jump to tight ends.
You got all nervous there for a second. What you getting all nervous for?
But that's the last wide receiver. You can jump into tight ends and talk about the best one on the.
I think you know exactly who I'm talking about.
I've been talking about this guy all off season. What did I say?
Trying to sell his signed photo for 2 days now over here. $80, you can get yourself a Mike Gesicki signed Dolphins photo, but now he's over there in the Bengals tearing it up.
I said this in the offseason. I said him going to the Bengals is the best thing that's going to happen to his career because he's going to get utilized as a receiver and not as a blocker.
He almost had a touchdown in the first game.
Almost.
They got overturned upon review, saying he failed to keep control of the ball as he hit the ground. But in the game 2, he hauled in 7 of 9 targets for 91 yards, and
almost got a touchdown in that.
And almost another touchdown.
Similar situation happened.
He's definitely a great auxiliary option for any superstar quarterback who's trying to make a name for themselves. Mr. Burrow.
Yeah, and he's definitely become their number one target other than Jamar Chase after Boyd's gone.
Yeah.
Like Boyd left, and he's that type of guy. Like he was
with
making
Boyd down in Tennessee.
He was making such big plays yesterday with the ball. Like he would catch it up high and then run and hurdle guys, flip over guys.
That's what he's known for.
True
the good
Mike
stuff.
Gesicki stuff, bro. That's why I was so pumped watching that Kansas City game yesterday with Cincinnati, bro, because it was like I was just watching Mike Gesicki just light it up. That's who I was rooting for all day yesterday.
Over there
Mike
wishing
Gesicki.
you still had him on the Dolphins?
Yes. But Mike McDaniel didn't know how to use him, and he was wasting him, so I'm glad that he let him go. But
let him go on to greener pastures.
And
I think that's
it for the tight ends.
That's it for the tight ends. I didn't see anyone else worth talking about. Schoonmaker in Dallas, maybe, or Strange in Jacksonville, but they could just be one hit miss.
And of course,
was it Jonnu Smith?
And of course, for your defenses, basically, like if you can pick up anybody playing the Giants or the Panthers.
I think he meant to say that.
The Giants or the Panthers, definitely, that's a good plug and play option if the defense you have is going to be playing somebody who you're worried is going to put up points. You can definitely go and pick up whoever is playing. Let's see who's playing the Panthers coming week. I think this has still got this game. Oh yeah, this has still got this week's games on here, so I don't have a quick reference.
For which teams? For which week? Week
who's
3?
Who's playing the Panthers? Who's playing the Giants? Week 3.
Let's see. Giants week 3 is Cleveland.
Okay, so that's definitely a good defense to pick up. But somebody's probably already got Cleveland defense.
More than likely. And then what other team did you say? The
Panthers.
That'd be the Raiders.
The Raiders. So there you go. Let's look here. It's only rostered on 4% of leagues at the moment. That would be a good pickup. Obviously they did a good job against Baltimore Ravens yesterday. So
phenomenal.
That'd be a good option if you needed defense option. Kicker. Go for your highest scoring kicker. Like your highest scoring teams. Or teams that score a lot of field goals, like apparently New England.
I was going to say that was a field goal-a-thon.
Washington. The Giants. That was a lot of field goals. a lot of field goals from Washington. Not going to go too much into that.
Kickers kicking. Kickers be kicking, man. Just I would shy away from Justin Tucker. He missed 2 of his field goals in that Ravens game.
To be fair, one of them was he hit a 59-yarder. To be fair. To open up his field goals, he hit a 59-yarder.
And then proceeded to miss a couple. I just saw the ones that he missed. Okay, I just saw the ones that he missed.
So those are your week 3 waiver wire pickups. Some decent options, not a lot on the board available in our leagues. Your leagues may look a little bit different, but generally, if they're on our board, they're probably on your board. What do we got next on the docket? We still got to release our picks, right?
Yeah, we got to
week 3.
We got to roll through our week 3 picks.
Okay, that'll be Goel and you, Charles Waffles.
Charlie Waffles.
And
coming through with my picks.
And of course, if you want to know what my picks are, you'll have to go back through and watch them all because they've all already been released over the course of the videos.
And to be fair, they were made 2 months ago, so it ain't changing those.
No, I would have to go through and look through my sheet that I have. I can show you my predictions, but I would have to go through and look through my sheet that I would have to get them. We don't got time for all that.
Just click the link in the comments or go to the next video.
Yeah, so before we get into our picks, we're going to take a quick break. Mini Goel wants to say hi and is going to chit-chat with you guys. We'll be back. That's the camera that's on right now.
Which one?
This one.
Mine?
Yeah.
So she's got to sit here.
Mm-hmm.
Mini Goel.
Bring your thing.
What?
Is this yours?
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to go through and do yours first, I just want to figure a way to do that. This is all we got left is to do this. I don't know what she's doing.
I don't know what she's doing either. Go for it.
Little Mini Goel's camera shy.
I'm not being Goel, bro.
Who are you?
I'm Goel, bro. I'm the OG.
The OG.
The OG, bro.
The OG.
Yeah, I'm the OG. The OG. You know? Yeah, y'all know. Yeah.
Well, Mini Goel, who do you think's gonna win, the Broncos or the Buccaneers?
Tony Stark.
Tony Stark.
Yeah.
All right, Iron Man's gonna win that game. So that must be the Buccaneers.
Marvel.
But for real, I think it'll be the Buccaneers. Anyway.
What do you think about the Dolphins versus the Seahawks?
The Dolphins. That's easy.
That's an
I'm wearing the shirt.
easy pick, huh?
I'm wearing the shirt now.
Did you say? Oh, okay, never mind. You said that.
Dolphins versus the Seahawks.
You got in the same order as me?
Yeah, I'm totally skipped down.
Oh, you just
I'm
switched.
just messing with Mini Goel here. He's worried that I don't have the right order here. I'm like, yeah, Pats, Jets, Giants, Browns, Eagles, Saints, Texans, Vikings. I got it in the right order. We're just having fun.
All right. Let's start with Goel this time. We started with Waffles last week.
Ask the way waffles.
All right. Watch out, Mini Goel.
No.
The real Goel is in the house.
No.
Beep, beep.
Beep beep. Move your feet and give me the seat. Goel is in the house.
I'm Goel.
Stomp, 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 stomp. Oh, you're Goel?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
Look at me. Look at me. I'm the captain now.
I am the captain. All right, so let me hear it. Jets, Patriots.
Jets.
Giants, Browns.
Browns.
Eagles, Saints.
Saints.
Texans, Vikings.
Vikings.
Broncos, Buccaneers. You already answered that.
Yeah.
Packers, Titans.
Titans.
Bears, Colts.
Colts.
Chargers, Steelers.
Steelers.
Dolphins, Seahawks.
Dolphins.
Panthers, Raiders.
Raiders.
Rams, 49ers.
49ers.
Lions, Cardinals.
Cardinals.
Ravens, Cowboys.
Ravens.
Chiefs, Falcons.
Falcons.
Jaguars, Bills.
Definitely not Bills. 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 They can beat the Miami Dolphins. They can beat whoever you just said.
Good logic. Bengals, Commanders.
Commanders.
Alright. Good job.
No, I'm staying right here, bro. Stay right
Good.
here, bro.
I'm gonna beat you up.
No, I'm gonna beat you up.
Have you learned how to turn into a tiger yet? Alright, bro, get up. She's shaking the fuck out of you, huh? Can you see that?
Just a little.
Is it still going?
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
Don't edit that part out when I turn into a tiger.
Never.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Alright, what's up, everybody? Will in the house. And the only reason I got this fucking Jets flag behind me is because it's for the first game of the season. Yes. Patriots and Jets. Starting off the week. Thursday night football. Patriots have been looking good. Hold on, I'm getting my thing. So calm down. Anyways, Jets looking pretty good. Patriots defense looking pretty good. Offense is sucking ass. So I'm not going to expect too much out of the Patriots after what I've seen the Jets defense and offense be able to do. I do think they're going to squeak away a win on this one. Not going to be a big one. Probably a field goal like the rest of the Patriots games have been. But the Jets are going to definitely get a win. And then we start the 1 o'clock slate. We have the Giants and the Browns. Now, Giants, they're sucking it up, and they're still sucking it up. So we're going to go with the Browns. Their defense is definitely way too good to lose this one. We're going to move on to the Eagles and the Saints. Now this one, last week, the Saints beat Carolina pretty badly. And then this past week, the Saints did the same exact thing to Dallas. So it's like, man, these guys are fucking serious. And I think they're going to put up a fight against the Eagles. But I think the Eagles, with Saquon Barkley, are still going to be too good. And they're going to whoop their ass. And the Eagles win. Let's go. And then the Texans play the Vikings. Now, Sam Darnold over there with Justin Jefferson. If Justin Jefferson is playing, I think this is going to be a pretty close fucking game. And I think the Vikings would actually have a chance to win it with Andrew Van Ginkel over there on their defense just making moves. Like, they have a good chance. But if Justin Jefferson doesn't play, which I don't think he is going to play, but even if he does play, I'm going to give the win to C.J. Stroud and the Houston Texans because they're just looking impressive. Even if Joe Mixon does miss a week or two, their run game is still decent enough with the playmakers they have on Stephon Diggs, Tank Dell, and Nico Collins. It's pretty good. I think the Texans win that one. Broncos and Buccaneers. Broncos, garbage. They're not doing well this year. Their games have been kind of sputtered and lackluster of excitement. Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield, definitely looking in good form right now. Him and Chris Godwin are pretty in sync. Mike Evans, of course, he's Mike Evans. He's going to go over there and he's going to do his Mike Evans things and he'll get a touchdown here and there. So don't you worry, fantasy owners. But the Buccaneers, they take this one. Packers and Titans. Now, the Packers came out last week and they won without Jordan Love. They won with Malik Willis and they did it by running the ball. Tennessee Titans have a little bit better of a run defense than the Indianapolis Colts do. So I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball as well. So they are going to have to rely a little bit more on Malik Willis, but Malik Willis has the playmakers out there in Romeo Dobbs and Christian Watson. So I think they will be pretty fine. I think they will squeak a win without Jordan Love against the Titans. It's not going to be a pretty game. It's going to be probably a low-scoring game like the last game they played. But I think they'll get the win over the Titans. And then we got the Bears and the Colts. I think any game this year is going to be really hard to call against the Bears because it's like Caleb Williams is looking better and better each time, but they're still not good enough to beat a high-scoring team. But the Colts last week playing the Packers did not look good. They didn't look like they could put a drive together. Anthony Richardson didn't look like he can throw the ball. This is really tough, but I'm going to go with the Colts. We're going with the Colts here. Yeah, you can tell I was not sure about that one. I was definitely not sure about that one. But we're going with the Colts. Colts. Anyways, Chargers and Steelers. Steelers got a good defense. Chargers, they kind of went run eccentric. Jim Harbaugh comes in. He doesn't really trust Justin Herbert. You idiot. He doesn't really trust Justin Herbert with the ball, so he's kind of went run eccentric over there in the Chargers, and they're doing it really well with J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards coming from Baltimore. Do I think that they could beat the Steelers? Yes, I think this is where the Steelers lose their first game. I think the Chargers are going to win that one. They're going to squeak by. Again, it's not going to be a big scoring game, but they're going to do enough to win. And then we got the Dolphins going to Seahawks. I got a lot of question marks around this game. This is a 4-5 game. A lot of question marks. We're going to have Skylar Thompson starting. It's really hard for me still to say that we lose this game because our defense, again, has shut down teams in the second half. We have still not allowed a score in the second half, and we're going to keep it going that way. So if we can hold them under 17, we can definitely Devon A-Chain, Tyreek Hill, and Jalen Waddle. They can score enough points to win that game no matter who's throwing the rock. Dolphins, let's go, baby. We're going to fix this season. Anyway, so the Panthers and the Raiders. This is, well, not a hard one to call. Like we said last week against the Baltimore Ravens, against the Las Vegas Raiders. And then the Raiders came out and made us look stupid and whooped up on the Ravens. But this time it's against the Panthers. No one looks stupid betting against the Panthers. Let's go Raiders! And then the 49ers play the Rams. This is going to be a tough one, I think. I don't think the Rams are going to perform as badly as they did against Arizona. I really wish... I want to go back and watch that game because I really don't know what happened there. But the Rams looked like garbage. So we're going with the 49ers. They're going to get a 3-0 start. Nope, they lost. They lost yesterday to the Vikings. I gotta edit that out. I'll have to edit that out. Damn it, my first edit. Anyways, Lions, Cardinals. I still can't give it to the Cardinals, man. So we're going with the Lions. And the Ravens and the Cowboys, 425. That's gonna be a weird game. That's gonna be a really weird game. Both teams right now coming out not looking good at all. So I'm going to go with the better quarterback in this situation with the Ravens because I definitely think Lamar Jackson is better than the Cowboys. And he's a local boy from Boynton, so we're going to go with the Ravens. All right, and then we got the Chiefs and the Falcons on Sunday Night Football. Well, it's hard to bet against the Chiefs right now, right? But, I mean, somebody's got to beat them at some point. And I really wish that I could see the game tonight before I made this prediction, because how they perform tonight, the Falcons, would really determine how I determine this decision. But so, since I haven't seen it, we're going with Chiefs Kingdom. Chiefs take the victory on the Falcons. Let's go! And then Monday night, we're gonna have two games. Two games on Monday night. We got the Bills and the Jaguars, and the Commanders and the Bengals. The way that the Bills have come out, they've definitely made me look stupid. I said they were going to suck, and they're doing the exact fucking opposite right now. Josh Allen is carrying this team, and he's going to do it again against the Jaguars, and he's going to get a win. And unfortunately, I hate to say that they are going to be 3-0 and be atop the AFC fucking East. And then the Commanders and Bengals. Well, I don't trust either team. Yes, the Bengals had a great performance against Kansas City yesterday. They definitely should have won that game, but they still made some mistakes. And the Commanders, they barely won their game against the Giants. They had to throw field goals all over the place. So we're going to go with the Bengals and Mike Gesicki on this one. And that is your Week 3 predictions brought to you by Go Well. Peace out.
Good job, Will.
Thanks.
Oh, what are we going to do over here?
So basically, like, yeah, so I would go Goel, wherever it says Goel, and then hit the eyeball, and that'll shut down the words, and then you hit your ACC, or should say Charlie Waffles. Where does it say Charlie Waffles? Or it might have just said AFC Eastie Boys. And then week. And we just have to change that to 3 instead of 2. Let me get it here. That gets a little bit more complicated. So then we gotta turn it on. Alright. Settings. Edits. Week 3. There we go. Done.
What's up, everybody? We got our Week 2 predictions. Psych. Week 3 predictions for Charlie Waffles from the AFC Eastie Boys. Exciting games this week. Starts off right off rip with one of my personal favorites, the Jets versus the Patriots. I am taking the Jets on this one all day long. I know the Patriots have a really stout couple of games that they've been playing, but this is going to decide, right now who's going to be second place in the division. So I'm going Jets all the way. Jets, Jets for the win. We're taking them. Next game coming up Sunday morning, afternoon, 1 o'clock. Giants and the Browns. I'm going with the Browns. The Giants have just been a loser fest, and they're going to continue to be a loser fest for however long they keep Daniel Jones throwing that ball. Just saying, Giants, move your quarterback around. Try the backup. Maybe he's better. That's what happened with Brady. Bledsoe on the bench. Brady, superstar. Maybe you guys got the same thing coming in your future. Maybe not, but Eagles and Saints. Man, it's gonna be a light 'em up football game. I'm expecting 40 points on either side of the ball, but the Saints are gonna come through. Who dat? Think they gonna beat them Saints? Not the Eagles. Not the Eagles. Texans and Vikings. We are sticking with the Texans, even though the Vikings have been shocking us the past couple weeks. I'm still not confident in Sam Darnold. Obviously, shouldn't be coming from the Jet fan. He did nothing for us, but that had a lot to do with our offensive line. Darnold's not a bad quarterback. He's not a great quarterback either. So I'm going with the Texans on this one. Then we roll down to the Denver Broncos versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield, Mike Evans, and Chris Godwin are going to just show why the Broncos still have not won a game. They're going to beat them, and the Broncos are going to be 0 wins, 3 losses. Moving on after that, we got the Packers and the Titans. Jordan Love's down. They brought it their backup. He won a game for them. I was impressed by this, but not impressed enough to pick them over the Titans. Titans with Lewis looked pretty decent against the Jets. They came out, scored first, almost, kind of thwarted us throughout most of the game. I'm going Titans over Packers. We're taking them. Bears and the Colts. This one, again, was a difficult one to read. Caleb Williams looking pretty good. Colts didn't look too hot against the Packers. Ended up losing that game. So, I'm rolling with the Colts. We're gonna take them on this one. Bears over the Colts, or the Bears lose, Colts win. Chargers and Steelers. The Chargers have been looking good. The Steelers have been looking okay. I went with the Steelers on this one. I think the Iron Curtain's going to fall on that Chargers run game. Gus Edwards is not going to be able to pull through with this. Neither is what's his name? J.K. Dobbins. I think the Steelers are going to slow him down to a crawl, and they're going to be under 100 yards rushing. Dolphins and the Seahawks. Yes, the Dolphins have a lot of potential with Tua in questionable consideration. Even if they throw in a backup quarterback, they still got a lot of options for him to throw the ball to. They're not going to be as in sync as they were the last couple of weeks, and that's why I'm going with Seahawks over the Dolphins for this week. Take that or leave it. I'm taking it. Panthers and Raiders. Do we really need to discuss who's going to beat the Panthers this week? Panthers are just like the Giants at this point. They're another loser fest of a football team. So we're going Raiders over the Panthers for the win. 49ers and Rams. This one, I was dead set on picking the 49ers. Watching their game last week kind of made me more hesitant on it, but at the same time, I'm going with the Niners over the Rams. I like Brock Purdy better than Stafford right now. He just doesn't. He's looking old. Stafford's looking a little old, a little sluggish. Lions and Cardinals. This one took a lot of decision making for me. I was talking up the Cardinals all day yesterday, and here I am picking against them with the Lions. We're going Lions over the Cardinals just because I want to do it, and I can because they're my picks, not yours.
And if you don't agree
if you don't like it, like and subscribe anyways. Ravens and Cowboys. This one's going to be fun, I hope, anyway. I think the Cowboys are going to shut them down at first, but the Ravens are going to claw back into this one with their Raven claws. They want this win more than life itself because they have not gotten one yet, and they were supposed to be one of the best teams going into this season. So we're taking the Ravens over the Cowboys, and hopefully we're going to get that one right. Chiefs and the Falcons. Again, like Goel said, I'd love to be able to see the Falcons play tonight before I make this pick, but they're playing the Chiefs. Taylor Swift's going to be at the game. We're going Chiefs with two highlight reels of Taylor Swift dancing or being happy about Kelsey getting a touchdown or a catch or some stupid shit. Then we're going to move on to the two Monday night games. Jags and the Bills and the Commanders and the Bengals. It's going to be a BB for me. Bills and Bengals. We're going both B teams. The Bills looked fantastic against the Dolphins. They looked fantastic against the fucking team they played week 1. Arizona. Bills. Like that Destiny's Child song. You know what I'm talking about? Bills. Yeah, we got to pay them. They're paying them. They're going to win.
I was thinking more like bye.
Well, yeah, I wish I could say bye. But Bills. I pay them, you pay them. They're going to win on Sunday on Monday night against the Jags. Bengals over the Commanders. We're taking it just because I feel like the Bengals put up a hearty showing against the Chiefs. They should have won that game. A lot of people feel they got robbed by the refs, but it is what it is. Like sometimes the refs go this way, sometimes they go that way. They're not biased at all. Who's to say? Bengals over the Commanders. That's just the way it's going to happen. And throw the flag at it. That's the end of my picks for week 3. We're going all the way, baby.
Yeah,
we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and those are your picks by AFC Eastie boys. We'll have videos released in Comic Book Status Volume 3 for both Goel and Charlie Waffles will be released before Thursday. So make sure you guys look for that.
double back and get them Wednesday picks in. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying? Get in on your bets before the Thursday night game because I'm telling you, it's going to be a good one.
Yes, sir. We'll definitely be dropping some more lineups. Maybe Charlie Waffles will look into some parlays, some good parlays that we can bet on.
I can think of some screenshots I can send you.
You can share those in the Discord. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe, join that Discord. That's where you're going to find a lot of that information at. Those picks, those fantasy picks, the lineups, things like that.
All the people you should be betting on this week if you want to make some easy cash.
Plus, it's a good place to get quick info if you need it. You know, hop on there. I'm usually always checking my Discords out, especially if it's like one of my Discords. I hop on pretty quickly, you know, and try to respond. So
Yeah, he's normally within a few minutes or so.
yeah, sometimes like I'm literally in there reading, waiting for someone to say something so I can chirp back.
And he's ready to chirp. He's chirping all day.
Chirp, chirp,
like
chirping.
a goddamn bird.
Chirping, chirping, chirping. But it's been fun. It's been a good week of football. Very upsetting week of football for a lot of people. I know there's a lot of survivor pools got blown out of the water this week.
It's all over but the crying for a lot of people already.
A lot of upsets, yeah. You know, I got to move on. My team's got to move on. We got to still look. It's still early enough in the season where we shouldn't be like throwing it away. No, like 1-1. Like there's still.
Oh yeah, there's still plenty of football to be played.
Still 15 games left. So let's look forward to next week. We look forward to seeing all of you next week. Peace out.
Have a good one, boys and girls. We include everybody here.
Everybody.
And that's the AFC Eastie boys. Like and subscribe.